Okay, so we're going to go into 3 rudimentary movements. I'm going to actually give you a mobility thing to try if you want to as well. But remember, all 3 of these things you're going to do. We want to set a foundation before we challenge ourselves. So the first thing we're going to do before we do any of these three exercises is first find that neutral position. Typically, remember you want to use your pelvis. So I'm going to rock forward and arch my back away. I'm going to rock my pelvis down and flatten my back as far as comfortable. I'm going to arch again, and then I'm going to find that space in between. And I should feel some engagement from my core from doing that. And then once I find that, I'm also going to try to further engage it by doing that transverse abdominus or that lateral press out. So I'm going to hold both of those. I'm still talking, so obviously it's not a huge effort, so much so that I can't breathe anymore. So I'm engaged in those 2 like lockdown foundational positions when I run through all 3 of these drills. So the first one, we're going to go into that breathing exercise. You're going to get a ball, or you're going to hike your heels up on a chair. We're going to slide our heels up into a position where we feel like that's where our sitting position typically is. From there, we're going to establish that neutral position. We're going to engage those deep spinal stabilizing muscles. And then we're going to practice breathing by trying to breathe only through our stomach. As you do this, you should feel further bracing or further tensioning through your core and through your back. I would suggest doing this for about 2 minutes. So, or you could break it down into doing 6 inhales, 6 exhales, and then going down from there and going into 5, 4, 3, 2, and then stopping and taking about a 5 to 10 second break, maybe resetting back into that neutral position prior to going into the next set of reps. So either 2 minutes or that 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 rep scheme will work great. Next one we're going to do is run into bridges. So same thing, we're going to get into that neutral position. We're going to lock on in. Remember I told you about that prior glute engagement, so remember there's that $1,000 bill trapped in between your butt cheeks. You're going to engage all 3 of those prior to performing a bridge. I prefer having my arms up so I don't cheat. And getting some really nice glute engagement, hitting the top, coming back down. Nice slow tempo is adequate. And what I would do with this one is a rep scheme of 5, 4, 3, 2, and then stopping for the set, taking 5 to 10 second breaks in between that rep scheme. So 5 reps break, 4 reps break, you got the rest. Next one we're going to run into is plank. So side plank, either you can do it from your knee, raising up, or you can do it from the foot down as long as it doesn't cause any pain. Rising up from there. And once again, we're going to rock in a neutral, engage through here, be loaded even prior to doing the plank. I like to have a visual cue of looking up at my hand, holding up for 5 seconds, maximum effort, coming back down, and that's 1 rep. So what you're going to do with this one is a rep scheme of 4, 3, 2, 5 second holds, and in between those reps you're going to do a 5 to 10 second break. Last movement, or last thing I was going to suggest is rolling. You could work on your hip flexors if you want to. So essentially if you go approach your abs at like a 45-degree angle and work your way down as you're on the floor, you can work all the way down through about the upper third of your thigh. So you could roll through here. So what I'm going to do is approach that angle. I'm going to roll and search for any sore spots, and usually around that hip area you start to feel them. From there, what I can also do is I'm compressing in that area is do a little active release. So I'm going to bend my hamstring up and press my heel up towards the ceiling with my glute, getting a nice big compression. I can also do some rotation by rolling my heel back and forth, working on a sore spot for about 10 seconds, and then working our way down. You can do that for about a minute on each side. All right, that's good.